the new Porsche Taycan. It may not look different, but it has new features and is more powerful. In this episode, we're going to go over everything you need to know about this vehicle. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The Taycan has always been very expensive, and the new version is even more expensive. The standard Taycan starts at around $99,000, and that goes all the way up to $209,000 for the most powerful version. The previous version of the Taycan starts at around $90,000. The Cross Turismo starts at around $111,000, going all the way up to $212,000 for the most powerful version. The previous version would cost $102,000. That's really expensive. The Porsche Taycan has been one of the best looking vehicles out there, and this new version looks even cleaner. So on the front, it gets a new bumper design, and the headlights are now separated from the vents. On the previous Taycan they were connected. It still gets a huge air intake at the bottom for better cooling. On the side, it looks exactly like the previous Taycan. Really beautiful side profile. I love the way the door handles are integrated into the door, and the body panels are so smooth. The wheel designs are also very nice, and that sloping roofline makes it look so much sportier. The back also looks very much like the previous Taycan, although it gets new taillights, but that's the only difference. It still has that beautiful light bar and a very aggressive looking bumper. It's an amazing looking vehicle. Even the Cross Turismo, beautiful looking. The super smooth body panels make it look so cool. Now it's a little bit heavier than the previous Taycan. It weighs over 4,600 pounds. The previous Taycan weighed under 4,600 pounds, but the difference is little. And it also has a drag coefficient of 0.22 CD. Very aerodynamic, which will improve the efficiency, allowing it to drive for a longer distance. Overall, this car looks stunning, just like the previous version. But what do you guys think of the exterior design? Let me know in the comments down below. The interior of the Taycan remains unchanged, and that's a good thing. It's a very nice interior. You have these beautiful displays on the dashboard, making it look more futuristic, but at the same time the design is super cool, and it's also minimal. The interior quality also is fantastic, typical with Porsche. Their interiors always have very expensive feeling materials, and all of the pieces are very solidly put together. There's also ambient lighting, and that combined with the displays looks beautiful at night. Now for the comfort features, it gets heated seats and a heated steering wheel, but if you want features such as ventilated and massage seats, you have to pay extra. Porsche seats are usually very comfortable, and the beautiful glass roof lets loads of light into the cabin. It also makes it feel more roomy inside and adds to the headroom, although it's pretty tight since you have the sloping roofline. Now you can also get leather seats in the Taycan, or you can choose to go with vegan materials. Overall though, it's a very nice interior. It's very modern and super high quality. The Taycan comes with 4 displays as standard, just like the previous version. So at the front, you have the beautiful curved driver's display, and then the upper center display which provides vehicle controls, and the lower display that provides climate controls. In the back, you have a small rear display providing rear climate controls. Now you can pay extra for the passenger display, which works just like the center display. There's over-the-air updates, so as you own your Porsche Taycan, it gets better over time. It also has Apple CarPlay Plus, so you can also control the climate using Apple CarPlay. It also has Android Auto, and there's the optional Burmester 3D surround sound system. It's a 21 speaker sound system, producing a total of about 1500 watts. And then there's the optional heads-up display. The Taycan still has the same amount of space as before. So in the trunk, it has up to 14.3 cubic foot of space, and in the front, there's an additional 2.9 cubic foot of space. So in total, it has a cargo capacity of up to 17.2 cubic foot. The Cross Turismo is more spacious. So in the trunk, it has up to 42.8 cubic foot of space, and in the front it also has 2.9 cubic foot of space. So in total, the Cross Turismo has a cargo capacity of up to 45.7 cubic foot, which is pretty good. This new Taycan is much more powerful than the previous version. So the standard Taycan has one electric motor driving the rear wheels, which makes 402 horsepower and 302 pound-feet of torque. The Turbo S, which is the most powerful version, has 2 electric motors making 764 horsepower and 818 pound-feet of torque. 818 pound-feet of torque, that's insane. The previous Turbo S had 616 horsepower and 774 pound-feet of torque. Now when you enable launch control, the power temporarily increases, which is called overboost power. So with the Turbo S, when you enable launch control, the power goes up to 938 horsepower. 938 horsepower, that's incredible. With the previous Turbo S, the power would go up to 750 horsepower. It's mind-blowing. Now the standard Cross Turismo has two electric motors making 429 horsepower and 449 pound-feet of torque. The most powerful Turbo S Cross Turismo also has two electric motors, but they, just like the regular Turbo S, make 764 horsepower and 818 pound-feet of torque. And also, just like the regular Turbo S, when you enable launch control, the power temporarily goes up to 938 horsepower. Every all-wheel drive version of the Taycan has a single-speed automatic transmission at the front axle and a two-speed automatic at the rear axle. Now, how this works is when you enable launch control, the two-speed transmission shifts to its most powerful gear, providing more power, allowing the vehicle to go even faster. And then when you're in regular comfort mode, the transmission shifts to its slower gear for a more calming drive. Now, all versions of the Taycan get an 89 kWh battery pack as standard. You can get a 105 kWh battery pack, and both battery packs can charge at up to 320 kilowatts. 320 kilowatts, that's impressive. We don't know the exact range of this new Taycan, but it's now expected to have over 300 miles of range for the first time ever. The previous Taycan only had below 300 miles of range. The new Taycan is much more powerful, but is it any faster? Yes, it is. The standard Taycan can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds. The previous one would go in 5.1 seconds. It also has a top speed of 142 miles per hour, and the previous one had a top speed of 143 miles per hour. Just 1 mile per hour difference. The Turbo S is crazy fast. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.3 seconds. 2.3 seconds, that's crazy. The previous Turbo S would go in 2.6 seconds. That is a big difference. And just like the previous version, it has a top speed of 161 miles per hour. Now the standard Cross Turismo can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 4.5 seconds. The previous one would go in 4.8 seconds. It also has a top speed of 136 miles per hour. And the previous one had a top speed of 137 miles per hour. Same tiny 1 mile per hour difference. The Turbo S Cross Turismo can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 2.4 seconds. The previous one would go in 2.7 seconds. It still has a top speed of 155 miles per hour. Now let's go over this vehicle's internal components. Here too are a lot of changes. So it gets Porsche's latest active air suspension system as standard, unlike the previous version. It also gets adaptive dampers, and there's the optional Porsche Active Ride suspension feature. This is a really cool one. So basically, it adjusts the suspension to keep the vehicle completely stable. And to do that, each damper has a motor pump unit at each wheel. When the bonnet rises up while accelerating, the rear suspension will go up as well. When the bonnet goes down while braking, the rear suspension will also go down. And then when the vehicle leans towards one side while cornering, it will raise the suspension at the side the vehicle is leaning towards and lower the suspension at the other side. This is really, really cool. With that, there is no need for active anti-roll bars. In fact, it has the potential to actually work better than that. It also has rear torque vectoring. So it's an electronically controlled limited slip differential that can send 100% of the power to the outer wheel with the most grip. There's also the optional rear wheel steering. How it works is at low speeds, the rear wheels turn at the opposite direction of the front wheels, and at higher speeds, they turn at the same direction as the front wheels. The brakes are also impressive. So at the front, it has 6 piston calipers and 410mm discs as standard. At the back, it has 4 piston calipers and 365mm discs. And then there's also the optional carbon ceramic brakes, and they are really cool. So at the front, it provides huge 10 piston calipers and huge 420mm discs. At the back, it provides 4 piston calipers and 410mm discs. Excellent engineering here. This new Taycan will be absolutely lovely to drive. Since it has active air suspension and adaptive dampers, you can alter the firmness, so you can set it to a softer setting on casual trips, significantly improving the ride comfort, or you can set it to a stiffer setting during spirited drives. That will improve the handling and reduce the body roll. Speaking of body roll, the active ride suspension greatly increases stability and reduces pretty much all body roll. The optional rear wheel steering will also reduce the turning circle at low speeds, and at higher speeds will also make the vehicle more stable. The stability on this vehicle is going to be insane. Since it's electric, the regenerative braking will make the driving experience so much easier. since you don't have to constantly press on the brake pedal. So when you lift your foot off the accelerator, the vehicle will automatically stop, and it's very good for the battery, because while it stops, it recharges the battery at the same time, improving the efficiency as well. A big benefit of that battery pack is it provides a low center of gravity. That will improve the handling and also reduce the risk of this vehicle rolling over, as it also reduces body roll. The all-wheel drive system will also significantly improve the traction, so does the torque vectoring, and Porsche always provides their vehicles with excellent brakes. This Taycan has super advanced brakes. It also has a wide range of self-driving features, which includes adaptive cruise control and lane keep assist to keep you inside the lane. There's the automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning assistant, blind spot monitoring, and active parking support, which will allow the vehicle to park by itself, and there's also remote parking support. So when you exit the vehicle will find a parking slot on its own and pull into that by itself. Overall, it's going to be a fantastic driving experience. It's comfortable, has absolutely amazing stability, it's very fast, and has a lot of driving assistant features. So is the new Taycan worth the price? Well, sort of. It's really expensive, and a lot of its features are going to cost extra. It's got so many great advancements, but not all of the features are going to come as standard. See, otherwise this vehicle is great. It looks absolutely beautiful on the outside, has a wonderful interior with great interior quality, it's got the latest technology which is super cool, it's spacious, super powerful, very fast, and excellent to drive. But only if the price gets lowered and all of the features come as standard, then it will be worth buying. But what do you guys think of the new Porsche Taycan? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode.